Here we're looking at the user interface for the Amazon Firestick 4K. And just for reference, here is the remote. So I will be referencing the directional buttons here, the OK button, and this button right here, which is our voice, as well as power, and then volume control. So as you can see, I can control the volume of the TV using the included voice remote. Now I'm just gonna keep that at 0 just in case we're gonna show you some things and we don't necessarily want there to be voices, which will help with demonetization, I'm sure. So main screen here in the upper left hand corner there, you're on your home, it's highlighted in orange. Hitting the directional button on the D-pad here to the left will bring you over to the search. Now this is one of the things I wish was a little better with the interface here. When searching, you have to hunt and peck. There's no like typing. Gonna hit the back button there, which brings us back up to the top and back to home. You can use voice search, which is generally how I do this because there's no mobile app to type in. You can get peripherals that will allow you to type in and use Bluetooth, but we'll get to that a little later. So home screen, this is what you get when you first arrive on your Amazon Fire Stick. You can see right there, big advertisement for Hacksaw Ridge on IMDb TV, which, by the way, Amazon owns. So you're gonna get that feeling throughout this. It's Amazon properties. So clicking down once brings you into the Premiere area. You can see those little dots there just shows that it's trying to get you to look at. Clicking one more time down brings you to your recent. So these are your recent shows and applications. In this case, I was in The Boys doing some testing, probably will watch that. But then here we go, Twitch app, Netflix app, Pluto app, NordVPN. Because this device is more than just a streaming stick, you can do things like add Nord, or a little later, actually down here, in the Your apps and channels, news, I didn't put that there, that came. Hulu, I put that on there. Twitch I put on, Netflix was there, YouTube I put on. Prime Video obviously will be there, IMDb TV also there, Pluto TV I put on. But notice you've got local news, internet. They have that cloud symbol. What that means is it's a app, but it's not technically on your device. So if you were to, in this case, internet, because you can get internet through this, select internet, what it will do is load, and then tell you to download it, which is what that is right there. Any of the other channels, so it's Amazon Silk browser, any of the channels will come with a video and some information about that channel. And we're just gonna hit back to bring us back to the channel selection. So these are things that it wants me to put on here, but I'm not necessarily going to do that. Coming down, you have sponsored. So obviously, well, not obviously, but you have sponsored. Currently it's Veterans Day, so they are trying to promote the Smithsonian Channel. Coming down, next is Prime Original Series. And as you might guess, coming down, next is Epix, Popular TV. You can scroll through that. Coming down next is IMDb TV. Now, Netflix. Surprised to see that on here, but it's way down there. You gotta go through a lot of stuff. I will say, because Netflix supports multiple profiles, the Netflix you see here is the last person to watch it. So if your wife is watching something and you tell it to queue up Netflix using the voice command, it will in turn queue it up on your other person's channel, in my case, my wife. Coming down, news, you've got live indicators, because you can have live TV on this. Recommended by your app. So based on what I have on my thing, it's saying, hey, these are what you would be interested in. On now refers to TV, live TV. You can have live TV. I don't have any live TV on here except for Pluto TV and Locast. So this is where this information is being pulled from. Featured apps and games. Watch with your cable subscription, so you obviously would need actual cable for this, but for me, I'm a cord cutter, so don't have that. Now, again, military, Prime TV shows, this week on Fire TV. I mean, you kind of get the idea. I can keep going, and it's all really Prime related. And we're finally at the bottom for Prime Babies. Pushing down on the remote does not bring me back up to the top, so you either have to scroll through all that again, or hit the back button or home button on your remote to bring you all the way back up to the top. While I'm here, I will say the fact that I have to click 1, 2, maybe even 3 times to get to the channel I want to watch is a little annoying. So if I don't happen to have it up in this recent area and I've got to click down to my actual channels and apps, I don't know, it just doesn't feel quite as smooth as some of the other solutions I've tried. Now, I will say, because this is Amazon, you get something that you will not get on other streaming devices. And if we come in here, and this is going to start at the very beginning, so there should be no spoilers. It has X-ray, so we can come in here and do X-ray mode, which is something that Amazon devices can do with Amazon products. You're not going to be able to do this on a Chromecast or on a Roku device. This is going to be exclusive to Echo here, to the Amazon ecosystem. The other thing you can do with Amazon, because it's their ecosystem, we're going to press play, pause. There we go. Fast forward 1 minute. Start over. You can use the voice activations on the remote to do cool things like that. We're going to hit the home button now. So it's a trade-off for living in their environment. You get to do things like that. Also, because this is more powerful than the streaming sticks that I've done in the past, you can come over and start a VPN service and take a trip over to Britain and check out your Netflix over in Britain. Just saying, not condoning, but a possibility. Coming across the top here, live, again, this is based on channels that you have. So it's saying you can do these, but in order to do that, you have to, 1, get through the promoted video stuff here and click again. And this is featured, not actually the apps that I have on here, sponsored, and then live sports. Again, based on Pluto TV here, Twitch TV, and it's not even bringing in Lowcast. But if we come down here, you can have a channel guide for your live TV. And again, because the channels that I have for live TV are slightly different than your standard Sling TV, DirecTV, any other IPTV service. Again, I have lots of them that I've done over there in the corner, but this is really just going to show me Pluto TV. So it has its own little user interface TV guide for that channel. Also, if I had favorites, I could just, show me my favorites. And again, because it's just Pluto TV, I don't have any. You also have parental controls. Now you'll notice it keeps bringing me to another area. This is the settings area, which I'll get into a little later. But you have parental controls from here, and you also have settings from here. But we're going to go all the way back, and now we're going to move on to your videos. Again, these are your Amazon videos, so anything that you have Prime-wise. Now I'm not going to, recommending Netflix in there, but it's assorted in with all of this other Prime content. Now I'm not going to subject you again to scrolling all the way to the bottom. We're just going to go to the top. Same thing with movies here. Add actual stuff. Prime movies, IMDb, sponsored. You get the idea. TV shows, again, promoting, Prime, Epics, sponsored, Prime, IMDb, Prime. Moving over, apps. Like I said, you can have apps. They're channels that you pick. Now, you can have other things like internet and that VPN service. Now, the problem I have with this is, even if we come all the way down here to the bottom, there's no actual search function in this area. You have to use the voice search or go all the way back up to the top here and come to this in order to search. So this is not just search for shows and movies, this is the search across the system. So to me, I wish the app section was a little more flushed out for searchability. Now, Pressing down once brings you into featured games, because there can be games not easily done on this remote, but they have peripherals that you can buy to play games, or categories. Even this, I feel that it's just too many clicks to have to go through. So movies and TV. And all of this is in real time. So there we go. So this is all the stuff that you can do, but it still requires a lot of clicking to get through. And we're gonna go back to our apps. Now, before I get into settings, because this is a Fire Stick, you can do some other interesting things with it, such as I have an Echo device right over there, an Echo device right over there. You can tell the Echo device to start watching this on said thing. So if you happen to see on this here, when I was down here, on Netflix, I got Punisher queued up there, or any of these other things. So I can do start Punisher on Netflix. And then we'll wait for that to start up. So because there's several different things with Punisher in it, it wants me to select which one. So we're gonna go back. Not sure why Lucifer's there. What is something on Netflix? Watch Dragon Prince on Netflix. Because at least that I know there shouldn't be anything else. There we go. So it's starting up. Now, I will say, and I've noticed this mainly with the Netflix channel app, the Fire Stick will just reboot itself. And I can't tell if it's because it's updating the firmware, but it shouldn't do that in the middle of watching a show. And it should have enough power because it's plugged into a power source, not the TV. It has done it, to me, probably 3 times. My wife watches the Fire Stick much more than I do, so it's happened to her quite a few times. Not sure why, can't reproduce it, can't figure out why. But be aware that that does happen occasionally. Another thing that you can do, because it's the Amazon universe, if I say I have Wyze cameras in my house, again, reviews over there, but I can say, show me the workshop. And then we're gonna wait. But here we go, a live feed of my Wyze cam in my workshop downstairs. So that's another trick that, because Amazon controls this ecosystem, they can do things like this. So, I mean, there are trade-offs. You did see when I started watching The Boys and even Netflix, load times are fairly good, don't really have any pixelation or anything like that. So, as a streaming device, it's solid. If you throw in those extra things, if you need those extra things, it becomes a more valuable tool than a regular streaming device. Now, we're gonna come all the way across here to settings because, well, sometimes settings are important. So let's take a look. Down here you have notifications. I currently don't have any notifications set up, but this is where you would be able to, again, press the option button there, to sort and deal with any notifications that you have set up. Coming across networks, this will list your networks. I'm not gonna show you my networks, but you can select network, select your network, change your passwords, you can do all that there. Coming across, display and sounds, selecting, you have screensaver, again, because it does have a screensaver. I'm not gonna go too in depth, but yes, each of these has options. So if you wanted to play with the screensaver, you've got lots of things that you can play with. Display, again, configuring your display, lots of options to play with. Audio, again, options. Screen mirroring, HDMI, so we're gonna get past this. Applications, so App Store, Amazon Photos, Game Circle, these are Amazon specific things. But you will notice, of that 8 gigabytes that you had on the device, 5.2 is all you get because the rest is all based on software that the thing needs to run. And you'll notice with the handful of applications that I have, I only have 1.8 gigs left. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. There's also no expandable storage in this, so you cannot put a micro SD card in it to give the channels more space. Not saying that the Rokus could do that, but if you had a set-top box, if you had a Roku set-top box, you could. Equipment control is more of an advanced feature, not something that I would recommend playing with unless you know what you're doing. I have no use for it, again, because I'm looking for a plug-and-play solution. Coming over to live TV. If you had multiple services, Sling, Fubo TV, this is where you can control them. Channel management, if we click on that, Pluto TV. So again, from here, just using the Amazon Fire, this will show me all of them, this will show me my favorites, and this will show me hidden. If you had multiple services, they would all show up here. Live TV sources, again, it's just pulling in Pluto TV. Parental controls, you can set up your parental controls for Pluto TV. So right now they are off, but I can come in there and I can set a password. The Amazon Fire Remote will tell you battery status, version, firmware, and the serial number. You can add a new device here if you wanted to. Likewise, I said you could get other peripherals. So here's your game control peripheral or other Bluetooth peripherals. Here you have your Alexa controls. Coming in here, you have your Alexa app and things that you can try. So if you don't know what you can ask your Amazon Echo device here, that's where you can check that out. Preferences, coming in here, parental controls, privacy settings, data monitoring. So if you have a data cap, you're definitely going to want to come in here. Notification settings, they kind of have a separate space for that as well. Featured content, so each of these has a lot of stuff. The one that you're concerning with right now is this featured content, allow video autoplay. So in the featured area, I was skipping over it, but if you stop in that promoted area, that will automatically start playing. Some people like that, some people don't. Sync recent contact, here's the location. Not the right location, but that's a location. I gotta update that apparently. Time zone, language, and unit of measurement for metric. All right, privacy settings, only gonna show you this because it's device data usage on, personal data is collected, collect app usage data, interest-based ads I turned off pretty much right away. These other things I wanted to leave on for the purposes of testing, but after testing we'll be turning them off. I will be turning them off. So those are our preferences. Moving over, My Fire TV. So this is pretty much information about your Fire Stick. Now, you'll notice that this is the only place that you can restart or factory reset your device. There's no physical button on the device itself that would allow you to do this. Accessibility, obviously there will be a lot of accessibility options. Closed captioning, voice view, screen magnification. Last is help. And help videos, quick tips, contact us, and feedback. So any one of those will give you extra options. Last is your account here. Sync Amazon content, and then your name up there, which I will not be showing you. So that is a brief view of the settings and kind of an overall view of the things that your Fire Stick can do and how the user interface looks. Now, I will say, hypothetically, if you wanted to change the order of something, so Netflix here, we want to move that. We hit the three buttons here, and then we can move to front, more info, or uninstall over there on the side. So what we're going to do is we're going to say move to front. And quick little refresh there, and now it is the first option. Now Twitch will say, hey, we're not going to move it to front, but we're going to move it, and then we're just going to bring up the grid here and slide it to where we want and hit OK. We hit OK and hit the back button, and there it is. It's locked into place. So I realize that there's a lot of Amazon heavy stuff in here, a lot. But As far as the user interface goes, minus the fact that I feel like it takes one too many clicks to get down to the My Apps area, the user interface isn't terrible. And if you're in the Amazon ecosystem anyway, it's going to be surfacing those items because, well, it figures you want to watch them. But that has been a look at the Amazon Firestick 4K user interface. Chances are, if you have normal Amazon Fire Cube or Fire Stick, your interface will be the same. So take what you learned from here and you can use it elsewhere as well.